Okay, well, hey YouTube, this is Dan, and I can and I will focus on my desire to live the life that I've imagined. I can and I will stay close to this desire by reminding myself of it every day. No one can stop me but me, and no thing can stop me tomorrow, and I only have to believe this just for one day. It is November 22nd, 2015. This is day 5 of my video blogs, and it is 11:29 p.m. Just want to give you an update. If you remember my 3 goals to do what I love to do every day, I did not do that. I had a practice today, but it was only for about a half an hour with some ministry team people. So didn't do what I love to do today. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Secondary goal is clean, and let's see. I don't know. I'm using a different camera today. I found a camera I hadn't used in a while. So let me show you here. See if I can look. Still have my ladder here, and I've made a box of stuff to bring to the church. You can see nice and clean on the floor. Computer desk, everything clean. This area here, I have the one box I told you. Over here, clean. Over here, work in progress. So this was full of stuff. Anyway, so let's come back to the computer. Go back around here. The only bad thing about this, because it's a regular camera, I can't tell if I'm holding the camera correct. I guess we'll see. But and then my exercise, I was able to do 9 minutes today, which is 1 or 2 minutes more than yesterday, and I'm getting the swing of it. Today I said I would list any snack things I had. I did have several cups of water. I had 3 sodas, 2 this evening when I came home, maybe 4 sodas, 1 at dinner and 1 at lunch. And other than that, snack food, I had a couple Tootsie Pops, little suckers with Tootsie Rolls in them. I had a couple, maybe 4 or 5, those little butter cookies. And I can't think of anything else. So I didn't have much. Nothing that I can think of. I was really, go back to the store. I was really disappointed today in the store. I thought we would do very well, and we did better than yesterday. We had a lot of service work come in, but no sales, not a single computer. We had pickups. We had people pick up their products for service work, but no pickups for computer sales. And we have probably about 40 computers for people to pick up, and so that's really dragging our daily numbers down. I know eventually they will, but I need them sooner than later. Anyway, I'm trying this new camera out. Well, it's an old camera that I found, but it's a new thing. We'll see how it works. Anyway, so we'll see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow I'll be in the store the full day, and Saturday I'm going to go to computer auction. That is if I make any money. So we'll see. I want to go so that I can get more computers and sell them at a lower price. But if I have no money, well, it kind of throws a wrench into it, doesn't it? I put another video up today of some old music. If you like old music, it's in my playlist. I think we've had a total of 10 video views between my 6 videos, which is, wow. But, you have to start somewhere. I'm trying to keep a positive attitude, looking online of ways to expand. I made a deal with a local radio station today. We do his domain hosting, and he's going to advertise. His domain hosting is $10 a month, so I've known him for a long time, and I helped him out on his website, and he's grateful. So he wants to give me a lot of free advertising to advertise. It only reaches my local city, which is about, I think, 20 or 30,000 people, 40,000 maybe. And it only reaches probably 10, 15 mile radius, so it's a low watt. But there are a lot of people within the town that actually listen, to local station. So anyway, I'll let you know how that goes. He's going to put a little package together of, come to Interlink. We sell wholesale computers. Anyway, I guess I can, I'll show you the game. Maybe on the next video. I have 4 games that I've created. And yesterday's video went way long. But I did want to discuss something. I'm not new to YouTube. I've tried very hard in the past to make a YouTube channel that people wanted to view. It seemed very difficult to get people to actually watch, and I'm not sure how. I mean, I watched the videos on how people like PewDiePie became popular, and I've watched his videos, and he's amusing, but I see other channels that have much better quality. Nothing to take anything against him, but he has like 34 million subscribers. He averages 11 million views a day between all his videos, and his income is estimated to be $7 to $22 million a year. For what he does, it just doesn't seem, I don't know, I guess advertisers are willing to advertise on his website, on his videos, so I guess he deserves it. It just, I don't know, there are a lot of people that work hard, very hard, not to say that he doesn't work hard, but different kind of hard, every day, to try to make an impact in people's lives, and financially, doing things for people, being charitable. Doesn't seem to pay off financially, but making silly videos of computer games and does. So I guess I should be happy for him, but it just kind of makes me wonder, what does it take to be successful at something like that? Is it just being at the right place at the right time? I've talked about this with people. You can't love them or hate them. Microsoft is the king of the world in software. I don't really like Microsoft. I like Apple products, but they're not perfect either. But Microsoft is the king of the world. They're over 80%, I believe, in market share. You can never be another Microsoft. You maybe can compete, and maybe in 20 or 30 years you can overtake, maybe. But Microsoft and Apple and some of these companies were started at the right point in time. Like you could never, if dial-up internet service was still a big thing, you could never be AOL, because AOL was at the right place at the right time. You can never be Sam Walton. Otherwise, people like Target would have done it. Sam Walton did not go from, for those who don't know, Sam Walton was the founder of Walmart. He's no longer around with us, but when he died, he was the richest man in the world, and his children, I think there's 5 or 6, that basically the Walmart value stock or what have you went to them. Now, Bill Gates is the richest man in the world, but if you add up all the Walton kids, they surpass Bill Gates. So Sam Walton would have had more money than Bill Gates, even though Bill Gates does not compare to some of the, like the Vanderbilts and the some of the, the people who started the railroads, the Rockefellers, and people like that from the 1800s. If you look at the money they had in today's money, you're talking about where Bill Gates has, let's say, $50 billion. some of these people had $500 billion. I'd have to go back and look at some of the records. You can basically look up wealthiest or richest person in history when you take into inflation. You know, it's like saying that there's a movie that makes $90 million in 2014 was more popular than Gone with the Wind in 1939 because of the dollar amount, and that's not true. If you adjust for inflation, Gone with the Wind is, I think, double the next one, which is, I believe, Avatar and Titanic. If you adjust for inflation, meaning basically how many tickets were sold, and that's how you can get to the right number. How many tickets were actually sold, not how many dollars were made, because that's relative. 100 years from now, you know, we're Gone with the Wind, I think, made $140 million. 100 years from now, there'll be movies that do that in the first night, if there are dollars at that point. So money is relative. It's the amount of ticket sales. So Gone with the Wind has, I think, twice the amount of ticket sales. It was in the movie theaters for months and months and months. I think 6 months it was in the movie theater when it first came out. And I like the movie. It's one of my favorite movies. But it's hard to compare riches dollar amount to with when you don't take into inflation. You know, so you talk about companies like Netflix. The idea was out there somewhere, but the man who made Netflix was the one who had it, and it would be very difficult to be Netflix because it's already been done at a specific point in time. You could try Redbox. You know, there was a company called Blockbuster Video. Now, not the Blockbuster company who sold videos in a video store, but there was boxes like Redbox. It was not the Blockbuster company, but it was a company that purchased the rights to use the name and the logo. So it wasn't the Blockbuster company, but it was another company, and they had boxes everywhere. But they were late to market, and they couldn't compete. Now you don't see them anywhere. So it would be hard to duplicate that success. You have to be the right person at the right time, and most people aren't. Most people can never be Steve Jobs because this is not 1979. Computers have been invented. There's a billion people that could do what Steve Wozniak did back in 1979 or 78, when it was just him who created the first basically personal computer. And you know, there are millions of people now that can write code and programs, but Bill Gates took it to a different level back in the early 80s. And it's hard. You see Android has come on the market, and they are overpassing Apple, but that is because of so many phones that run the Android operating system. It's not any one phone can overtake the Apple iPhone, but it's because of so many devices using that Android operating system. So that is one thing where if you can make a decent product, it's just, you know, how can the little man, well, I got talking about Sam Walton, and some people say, well, he came from nothing, and that's not true. If you read his autobiography, he started off, I believe, in J.C. Penney's, and learned to be a clerk, and then he went to the armed forces, and when he got out, he worked at Ben Franklin, and he worked at a failing Ben Franklin and made a deal with them saying, if I could turn this around, will you let me buy the store as a franchise? And they said yes. He did so well that they said no. I don't know why, but they said no, which made him go and open Walton's Five and Dime, which then turned to Walmart. And the thing is, if you go and look at the amount of money he started with, he had a lot of money of his own from savings, and he had family that let him borrow money. And in today's numbers, it was over $500,000, like 500 and something thousand. So it's not that he started a five and dime store with nothing. He started off with a substantial, I mean, if you gave me, in today's money, $500,000 to start a computer store, the buying power that I could have would make people want to give me lower prices. I could go to suppliers and say, hey, I want 100 hard drives. I'm going to buy it from somebody. Do you want to sell it to me? And I could play that against all of the people who sell hard drives. And the name of the game in computers is how fast can you sell it? How fast can you turn around the money? And if they can make $1 off each one and know that you're going to, for a year, buy those hard drives from them, they'll sell them to you at $1 over cost. And that's what Sam Walton did, is he had a considerable amount of money for the time, and he would do all kinds of things to get people to come into the store and spend money on the lower price item. And some items would be higher priced, but most of his items would be lower priced because he had enough money to do what he did. And it's really, it would be hard. I mean, if somebody could do it, it would be Target. Kmart, I don't think, can compete. Target is a better type of a place to try to, but they can't compete against Walmart. Food, I would think, would be one thing that you could probably compete in. If you could, you can have a really good burger or something of that nature. McDonald's, of course, is by far the biggest sales in burgers and food restaurants, and Coca-Cola is the most well-known brand in the world. That's been documented many times, that Coca-Cola is the brand that most people know. The more people in the world know Coca-Cola, you can't go back and beat Coca-Cola, because at the time that they made it, they were the one that started the whole thing. And you can't make a brand that you think, it would take a long time, and then to come from nowhere. What type of thing? There's just not a lot of those. Anyway, I like Shark Tank, and I like watching these, but the success stories on there are the exception to the rule, not the rule. It's very difficult to go from nothing, I mean literally nothing, and scrape your way to something. Some people do. I'm still looking for that, and trying different things. I have an Etsy store that me and my daughter work with computer scrap. People use computer parts in art, and so we're trying to take some of that. Again, I've created some computer games. I do website design. I do a lot of things, and trying to find that niche to be successful, and to wake up in the morning loving what I do, which would mean all the success that I have allows me to go and work with the kids every single day, and to work in ministry teaching those kids. So that's my video blog for today. I may cut this a little short. So it was nice talking with you. Today is day 5, and it is January 22nd, 2015.